Okay. Where do I start? I don't know. I mean, not much has really happened so far, I feel. It's been, so this is, I guess, technically day 3, but it's been like exactly 48 hours since the game actually started. And it's just been quiet, you know. Nobody, I feel like, is super, super active. I feel like I'm constantly replying to people and trying to message them, and I'm not getting that really from many other people. There are certain people who are super, super quiet, and I don't really know how to feel about that. You know, it's like, well, are they talking to other people and not me? Do they just not get along well with me? Like, you know, and some people, they kind of need a push. They kind of need you to talk to them first, which is annoying because it's like, you signed up for this game, so why are you making it so difficult for people to talk to you and engage with you? But that's just how some people are. The only people, so the people I know in this game from before this, I know Jackson because I know him from 10 Gauge, but I also just hosted him in 1984, so I know exactly how he plays. He's very dry in text. I watched him for a whole season talk to people, and he was super dry with them, and they would all go to their pod chats, and in their confessionals would talk about how dry he was. He's just very, very game based, very strategic. I know he's a good player. You know, I see it as a threat, but yeah, you know, that previous connection does help, even if it's not that much. But I at least know what to expect from him. I know Sandy very, very well. Sandy, I know from 10 Gauge. We have always gone along on there. I adore Sandy, and the fact that he is part of the group that has lost and is going to the first vote. If he goes home, I'm going to be so upset because he's the person I honestly trust and count on the most right now, because I just don't have anyone else at that level. Of course, it's only round 1, and so um, I really just can't afford to lose him this early. It would just suck. I feel like I can talk so openly with him and so easily, whether it's game or non-game. So I really can't have him going. I know Antoinette. We met through a friend back like 6 months ago, and we spoke for a while back then. And we were always like, oh, when we're in a game together, we're gonna be like final two. We're gonna do whatever. But I know her, and I know that she is so cutthroat and so shady, and she's gonna do whatever to win. So I cannot trust her. I'm gonna trust her until merge. I will, um, you know, uh, I will trust her until it gets to like the later stages. Um, and there's no like teams really. But after that, I know that if she has to cut me, she's going to do whatever she has to cut me, and she won't really think twice about it. So I have to get her before she gets me, but that's a way down the line thing. But the fact that I know her is really good here, because, it's just another person who I know. And I know she's going to be in my corner early on, and that much I can, trust. And then the last person that I know, or feel like I know, is Sam. I've never spoken to Sam from before this game, but Sam was final two with Tyler, one of my closest friends, in one of their games together. And so because he was in that, I heard all about his game every day, and I heard about Sam and how she played, and just I know her play style. I feel like I know her without even knowing her. We've already connected well based on that. We were the last two standing on the call on night 1. And I think it's destiny. I think we're going to be the last two standing in the whole game. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I also think she's pretty cutthroat. I don't think that she would, allow me to get to the end if she, had any say on it. And if she felt like I was a threat, she'll cut me. So I'll be on the lookout for that later down the line. But again, any connection you can use early on is great. And so the fact that I, um, know her through somebody, I think it really helped break the ice. And I just definitely enjoy talking to her. I think we are similar, based on what I've heard of her, and see of her, and have witnessed with her gameplay wise. I think that we're pretty similar. I think we could work well together. I just think that we're probably maybe too similar, but you never know. So those are the only people that I know coming into this, really. Everyone else is really is totally brand new to me. I've seen some people around, like I've seen Jeff. I know he's a comp beast and just a really good player. I already got that vibe on night 1 on the call, when he just was talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and wouldn't shut up. And I was like, oh my God, this guy. And even before I had ever spoken to him, I was saying to one of my friends, I was like, this guy, like, I don't think like I he seems like so easy to talk to, and he can talk about anything, but I cannot imagine myself like sitting and talking to him. Like, I just don't think we would connect that well. And thus far it's been a challenge in messages with him, which again, he's someone who clearly can just talk about anything. He's very personable, but it's been a challenge, and I just don't know why. Um, so I've seen him around. I've seen Marcelo's face like everywhere. He's always playing something. But I've never interacted with him before, or ever met him before this. Um, oh, I know Nick. I know them from some past games, like on 10 gauge and stuff. We're not super close by any means, and we're not. Um, it's just I don't we don't really have any good or bad or anything like that. I don't really know how to feel about them as an ally or anything. I don't know necessarily about how much I trust them. I don't know. We haven't even messaged that much. I just don't feel like there's that much of a strong connection there. I'm trying to think if anyone else stands out really. Let me just go to the casting 1 second. Um, yeah, no one else really stands out. Like, and then there are some people who I just like I've barely spoken to, and I feel like they're barely around. Like, um, Erin, I've barely spoken to her, and she wasn't on the call tonight for the results. Um, Michael was on the call tonight. I have not said a single word to him. He's the only person I have not spoken to, and I feel like I definitely need to message him. But I know that other people haven't really spoken to him either. He was not on the night one call. Someone else who wasn't on the night one call was Delaney, but I went out of my way to message her, and I've been messaging her ever since. And she seems nice. I just feel like I'm not getting much from her. I feel like if maybe she put in a little bit more effort, or if like I got on a call with her, we could definitely get along well. I just don't really know with her. Jeremy's also somebody that I've seen around. We were on a group call together one time, and I know his boyfriend very well. And we just actually were on call before the results. So he seems cool. I definitely think I can work with him, and I want to work with him. So I really don't want him to go home here at the first vote. I really can't have Sandy, Sam, or um, Jeremy going home here at the first vote. I ideally, looking at who's going to the vote, I would want Michael to go or Marcelo. Um, but it's not up to me. I really like Slade. Never seen him before this, but I like Slade a lot. Dre, barely spoken to him. Um, Seamus, I love Seamus. Also just met him here, and I feel like he's the person who I've met here that um, I've connected with like the most, who's like a new face to me. And Shannon and Taisha, barely spoken to them, especially Shannon. I know she has some stuff going on in her personal life today, so I totally understand, but I really have not spoken to her for more than a second. Um, but I'm really glad that of the people who are here that I know from before this, that there's no bad blood with any of them, because typically you see people that you know and there's just some sort of, even just a little bit of bad blood, and I don't have that with any of these people. And I'm really glad that it's only like a couple people that I know from before this, and that some of the people that I know, it's really not that much. Like Jeremy, I know him because I was on a group call with him one time, and that was a one-time group call, and that was it. Like, it was nothing. So I'm just glad that, because I don't want to be in a game with people that I know super super well. That's not really like fun for me. So I'm glad that the only people I really can say that I know well are Antoinette and Sandy. Um, but I'm stoked that I am not going to be the first boot. That's always the first goal. Don't go home first. My team won. We killed it. I think we got like first, second in the challenge. That's awesome. I was really really nervous about that, and I knew that my answers were close, but I was thought that someone was just going to be closer. I did not expect people like Taisha to be so clueless about things, but I always forget that just because I'm a history major and know history and know how things are and were, doesn't mean that everybody knows those things. So I have to put it into perspective. But I was shocked. I was gagged when I saw that she got 55,000 off from the actual answer, but relieved at the same time. I'm not surprised at all that Jeff killed his comp. I know he's a comp piece. I know he's a threat, and I'm just like sitting here thinking about it. I'm just like, oh God, like we're here, it's round one. Like I know it's round one, it's so early, but I'm like, I see he's a social threat. I see that he's a physical threat. Like I have my eye on him, but I know I'm not gonna be able to do anything probably for a very, very, very long time if it comes down to it. So I just have to kind of, relax and take it one step at a time, but always be thinking multiple steps ahead as I am. Um, but yeah, it's been pretty casual so far, and I've been trying to get on calls with people here and there, but it's just awkward. We don't really have much to talk about. But now that the game is actually starting, there should be some stuff that we can talk about, and the calls won't be so much like, so like where are you from, and like what do you do, and like this is awkward. So I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, that's all I really have to say for now.
So, the first question I have is if the results were flipped, so your team and the Jazz joint had to go to elimination, who would you want to vote out there?
Hold on. And now I have to look to see who's in the jazz joint. Is that in here?
So it would be Shannon, you, Seamus, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, Alex, Delaney, and Jester.
Which one's Alex? Wait, hold on. Who's Alex? Oh, Alex. Oh, honestly, that group of four, I like don't really talk. Like Alex, I don't really talk to him. He could go. Aaron Costco. So I would think, yeah, Alex or Aaron. I would definitely want one of them to go. I don't. I only messaged Erin today for the first time. She has not reached out to me. Previously, I was kind of waiting. The last few people that I hadn't spoken to, I was kind of waiting to see if they would reach out to me first, and I was disgusted to see that no one reached out to me first and that I had to reach out to everybody else that that I had left to talk to. And so she was one of the people that I first spoke to today. And that bitch, she was on Skype after I messaged her. We were talking about ice cream and feeling skinny, and she didn't reply to me, but she was on Skype. Like I can see that she was active. So I don't know if she thinks she's slick or what she thinks she is, but I hate when people do that in games, and it's so stupid. It's like just put yourself on do not disturb or invisible, or answer people when you go online, because she clearly went online for something to talk to someone, and it wasn't me. So like, how is that supposed to make me feel? So you know what? No, Erin can go. She can go. She can go. I don't give a fuck about Alex. She can go. Alex responds to me here and there. She doesn't.
So you touched on them a little earlier, but what was your initial thought when the three returnees came into the game?
I was very happy because one of them was Antoinette. If it was three randos that I didn't know, I would have been not so happy because it's just a lot of people. 18 people to talk to is a lot. To meet 18 people in just a few days and get to know them and vote with them or vote against them, like it's a lot. And the fact that one of them was someone I knew and someone that I knew well, I was very glad to see it. But actually, I'm glad you reminded me because I wanted to rant about this the other night. I don't understand why she didn't pick me for her team. I felt it was very personal, and I felt like it was very pointed. I was like, when she had multiple chances to pick me. When the first time came around and she didn't pick me, I was like, okay, maybe she doesn't want to pick me first. Maybe she doesn't want people to think that like we know each other. Like that's fine. And then like the second time came around, and I was like, okay, like I hope she doesn't like I hope she picks me here, whatever. And it was just like she was the last person in the rotation to go to pick. So like by the time like she came up every time, like the options were getting smaller and smaller, and people who weren't even on the Zoom call were getting picked. So I'm like sitting there, and it's like people are going off camera like really quickly, and there's like it felt very like playground, picking, like yard school picking, and no one wanted me, and I was like, oh my god, this is so bad, this is so bad. And then I got picked by the one person I didn't want to get picked by because I liked the people on Dre's team, and then I wanted Antoinette to pick me because I wanted to be on her team, but then I got on the other one and I was very unhappy about it at first, but obviously I'm not anymore because we did win. But yeah, so as a whole, I'm thrilled Antoinette is here.
So with all of your like connections or non-connections that you have right now, what placement can you see yourself getting? Like if you had to guess right now.
Like right now. Okay, well, it's like if the people who aren't talking to me are talking to other people and like they just don't want to reply to me, like that bitch Erin, maybe like a low teens number or something. But if this is how they're being with people, like with like everybody and they're just inactive, and the people who I am connecting well with so far stay by my side and I continue to connect well with them, maybe like a, ninth or eighth or something, I'm trying to be hopeful. And, obviously I want to say first, I'm going to win. And I sure hope I am. But, you know, based on right now, when some people are just like totally like unreachable, in terms of, messaging and stuff, it's difficult to, think so far ahead. I mean, that's so far ahead.
And then the last question that I have is one of Nicole's favorite questions to ask. What is one thing that you have to do either this round or next round to set yourself up for future rounds?
I need to um tell all the people going, not all the people, but I need to tell the people who are going to the vote that I need them to stay and that I hope they stay because I want to work with them and that they better not go home. Like I need you here. Even if it's not true. And I also need to call with people because so far it has, people have not even really been around to call. And it's also just like, well, what do we call and talk about? We just sit here awkwardly and like get to know one another. Like, so now that there's some, potentially, like at least now we can, maybe say, well, the game is starting. This is what's going on. This, that, whatever. You know, um, I can start to call with people and at least have something to talk about with them and hopefully break the ice. So I wanna someone I really, really want to get on a call with as soon as possible is Seamus because I want to. We've had a really good conversation so far, and again, my thing is always just like, well, they're having great conversations with me, but is that with everybody? Like, he and I we have a lot in common. We've been talking a lot, but it's like, is that just he's just a personable person with everybody? Like maybe I don't know, but I do want to get on a call with him, and see if it's translated over to calling, and if he's somebody that I really think I can work with full time. And I would love at some point soon to lock down some sort of like final two with him or something. I need to get a final two with somebody and somebody that I don't know well, like coming into this at all. Um, and I just don't know who else that would be because I don't feel like I've connected that well with anyone else that I could make a final two. Like I'm not gonna make a fucking final two with Erin or Alex or Delaney or Michael, like any of these bozos who I don't know. Like maybe Jeremy, but like I don't even like I don't know. There's something just tells me like, you know, I wouldn't be able to trust him like the other. But I mean that's so far away. So I need to make a final two with someone. I need to make it fast. So it's like we had this like so early on and we stuck to it and we kept it. And, I just need to know that they have my back moving forward.
Alrighty, that's all we had. Do you have any last minute things before I stop the recording?
Nope, that's it.